Alright guys, Kremp again today. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. Big updates last night with Black Ops 6 absolutely right on the horizon as it stands. The CDL season schedule seems to have been fully revealed, with again drama starting to emerge on where the World Championship location might potentially be. For the last couple of years, we've never really known the champ's location until rather deep into the season. This year though, rumour has it, Toronto will be hosting the CDL World Championship, maybe in a similar way to what OpTic did just a couple of months ago. Big drama when OpTic hosted the World Championship then and won it, whether there was home crowd bias, whether there was some cheese in play that maybe there shouldn't be at the biggest event of them all. The same thing may be going on again for the upcoming season with lots of other positives potentially to take away from this announcement. Very much interested to your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. Let's dive right in. Firstly, Black Ops 6, just on the horizon right now, probably as this video is going live. The game is playable in certain regions, certainly coming very soon anyway. Now, you guys may remember from the beta that at point blank range, there was no aim assist at all, and it made the game very challenging, and I did kind of like this in theory. I think the problem is that, let's say you're at, 3.5 meters away, you get aim assist, but if you're at 3.4, you get 0 aim assist. That kind of differential is quite jarring. So what Treyarch have decided to do is adjust this so that it linearly interpolates aim assist strength, is the way they describe it. So what that means is aim assist at point blank will be much weaker than usual and will then increase smoothly up until short range, where you then will start to get maximum aim assist again. So I think this is a good change. One thing I would like to see them do, however, is actually have the aim assist drop off after a certain range. It was a feature in Black Ops 2, if you guys played that game. Hopefully you did. If you didn't, whatever, what can I do? You can still play it out, to be fair, if you wanted on Plutonium or something. But nonetheless, Black Ops 2 with an MSMC or with an SMG in general, I think it was 37 meters or something in that range anyway. Pretty much if you were on raid and you were standing in kitchen and there was a guy in zigzag, so across the middle of the map, that was about the aim assist range that you would have from your SMGs. After that range, you got 0 aim assist. So if you tried to map someone, you just had to be an absolute demon with it. And it was the same thing in Black Ops 3 as well, to some degree, that, if you were trying to map someone, you just needed to have insane crisp shots. You didn't have good aim assist, especially with SMGs all the way over the map. But as I say, the aim assist range, which it counted for with ARs, was longer. So if you had an M8 from kitchen to zigzag, you got aim assist no problem on the guy on the other side. With an SMG, you didn't. And that was crucial to allowing SMGs to be dominant up close and then suffer when, you couldn't take the gunfight as an SMG. You had to be strategic about it. You couldn't just chow the guy. Nowadays, you just chow the guy. Who cares? You get aim assist anyway, right? So I think that's something I'd like to see. I like what Treyarch are doing here with making it more challenging in point blank ranges. And I would like to see that as well with certain weapon classes from a certain range and out into the distance. But into your thoughts as ever in the comments. Just quickly, teams are moving into their facilities for the start of the new season. Kismet's leaving Ohio, back out to Dallas. So Kismet was in Dallas with the subliners last year. This year, he's not even on the subliners. He is on the Gentle Mates roster, to our understanding. Now, they have bought out Gentle Mates, the Los Angeles Guerrillas. So, at least as of recording, we're theorizing, well, where are they going to be based? Is it going to be LA, Gentle Mates LA? Are they going to move cities? I don't really know. But of course, LA Thieves, based in LA, but yet their players are going to play out of Dallas. So it seems like that's true. And Gentle Mates, apparently they were very close, of course, to signing Scrappy, HyDra, and those guys away from Thieves. And one of the things they were offering those boys was a Dallas facility. And therefore, Thieves had to effectively cough up the money to make that happen themselves. So, no real surprise that, Kismet's going to be in Dallas, right, if he's going to play for that roster for the upcoming season. Scrappy as well, also getting out there. He was in New Jersey for a couple of days. I think he was back in Toronto, then in New Jersey, then, of course, getting out there to Texas. So, another one of these pointers, really. The Thieves are doing their absolute utmost to try and win this year's World Championship, and plenty of championships at that as well. Scrappy was also mentioned mentioning in his Q&A the other day on the kind of comms that he had on Ultra compared to other teams, because we know that Ultra, their comms historically have been pretty chill. Certainly in the days where Bance was there, like you'd go for a listening with those guys and it'd be super calm, and some would argue too calm, but that was the way that I did it. Scrappy kind of adopted that on some level. He still probably had the most energy on their team in comms, but that was a way that they decided to do it. But as Scrap says, it just kind of depends on the team. I think with Thieves, it's probably going to be a slightly different dynamic. Of course, Envoy is still there, and he was on that Ultra team last season, but of course with the other boys, of course with HyDra there and then Ghosty, I think it might be a slightly different dynamic. These, by the way, are the hardpoint locations for every Black Ops 6 map. No subsonic on here and no scud, but this is the setup. Some of these maps, as we looked at over the last few days, do not seem very promising to me for competitive play, but let's just have a look at some of the hardpoint locations. I mean, Vorkuta, the problem that I see with this is some of the maps that I've looked at and said, all right, from an outside perspective, looking at the map, they look viable for competitive. You then see the hardpoint locations and you say, these ain't looking great. Now, Vault is okay. There are plenty of maps with only 4 hardpoints, and I think that's okay. I know that the standard tends to be 5, but there have been great competitive maps with only 4, so you know, I don't really mind it as long as the map plays well, and this Vault looks okay. I'm reasonably optimistic about Vault. Skyline, they've actually made some changes to the map design I'll share for you guys in a second. There's only 4 heroes running. It basically just goes around in a circle, which, you know, I'm not massively sure I love it, but it is what it is. We're going to have to play it seems. Rewinds looks like this with 5, and this is a more traditional kind of rotation, really, but I don't know if the map is going to work especially well for competitive. This is Red Card, probably not going to be played. This is Protocol. This is one that actually does concern me, just because Protocol is a map that I look at and see, well, it's got 3 lanes. It seems to have been designed with some degree of competitive in mind, but yet all of the hardpoints are just in the same spot. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're like all here. Like, how do you anchor spawns? That's the problem, right? A good hardpoint hill usually has, it's on some side of the map so that there's a certain spawn point that one team prefers over another. Hill 3 will probably have that. There'll be 1 spawn point back here, 1 spawn point over the other side. So the team that is in control can hold the spawns and therefore take advantage. But Hill 1, Hill 2 and Hill 4, that doesn't really apply to. It's just, you know, you spawn up and you head bash. And for hills like that, you have to control the entire map space, the entire middle, in order to take advantage of the time. So I'm a bit concerned for that one. This is Derelict as well. I don't want to look at this map any longer. This is Lowtown, another map that might be viable. This is a bit more promising. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do find it interesting that there are some hills in this game that seem to be effectively overlapping. So 1 and 3 are very close proximity to each other, and this is Payback. Now, I think the reason maybe why he's excluded Scud and Subsonic, at least in the case of Subsonic, is that it has a duplicate hill. So Hill 1 and Hill 4 are the same, which is an interesting idea. I don't know if I really like it, but I don't know what you guys think about that on some maps, maybe having 2 hills that are the same in the same rotation. I don't know, it'd be kind of confusing, to be honest. The changes to Skyline, by the way, are like this. This was the Skyline from the beta. This is the new Skyline. And I actually, I love what Trek have done here, actually. I think it makes a lot of sense. Just adding this slightly lower level here by the hot tub enables a bit more of an angle that you can hold into mid, makes this a more of a power position, certainly for the first hardpoint. I actually really like this change, but still from up top, you can get an advantage on these guys. The other change is this. This was the previous hallway, and if you're trying to chow the hallway here, what do you really do? You know, lots of people just lay down, and it makes it kind of awkward to take these gunfights. But now they've added some cover. So there's pretty much a head glitch on either side. So there's a head glitch and a counter head glitch, which is like a classic Treyarch map design feature, which I think is going to be kind of nice. So those are your changes for Black Ops 6 today. But let's talk about where the events are actually going to be for Black Ops 6 this season. Ronnie put together an article on our site last night discussing what the plan is for the schedule this year. And the rumor seems to be true that yes, we are going to go to Chicago for a CDL event this season. But as Ronnie said the other day, it does seem like it's only going to be 4 majors plus the World Championship. There were rumors that there was potentially going to be 5 plus champs, but it seems like of the locations we looked at, one of those is going to be champs, then presumably Esports World Cup after that as well. But this year, the plan is as follows. Major 1, Barcelona. If you guys didn't see the rumors on that the other day, that's a bagger. As far as I'm concerned, finally, a European European event as well, and probably the first ever big one really to go down in Spain. Dallas Major 2, presumably OpTic hosted. The Barcelona Major, by the way, we think is Toronto hosted, and they're going to host 2 events this season, we believe, because they've got, of course, the Spanish contingent of their organization. Dallas, presumably an OpTic Major for Major 2. Major 3, we're just calling it Fort Lauderdale now. We're not even pretending it's Miami anymore. I think they call it the Miami event, and then you go there and it's actually Fort Lauderdale, and it's rather different to actually being in Miami. So presumably same location again. Doesn't really fill me with that much optimism, but Major 4 Chicago sounds very exciting to me. I'm not exactly sure who's going to be hosting it. Ronnie mentioned in his article that's on the Breaking Point website that it could be either CDL hosted, they run it themselves, or the new Gentle Mates team might potentially be running it there instead. So, doing a Chicago event again for COD for the first time in like a decade, super exciting. But the big drama really here around the World Championship, because Toronto has put on the best events in COD, at least that I've been to over the last couple of years that I've attended. This is at the Mattamy Athletic Centre, right in the heart of downtown Toronto. But look, it's a sensational event. Toronto do a killer job with it. But I will say, it was absolutely rad. Especially this year in Toronto, they completely sold it out. It was sensational. And then you got to think, you want to run the event at that venue for champs? Like, it's going to be even bigger, right? So I think the theory goes, maybe they would use a different venue, a larger venue. It's possible. I love the Mattamy Athletic Centre because it's right in the centre really of Toronto. You can get everywhere super easily. Great buzz around the city at the time. So that is something to think about. But the other drama really going down in terms of, okay, wow, you're hosting again in a city, and as in a team is hosting the event. It was big drama this year with OpTic. They hosted the World Championship because the CDL seemingly can't really afford to run it themselves, or has the resources or the budget or whatever. So allowing a team to host the biggest event of the season is always going to be controversial, and it was last year, certainly because OpTic ended up winning it. Now, how much advantage did the home crowd bias cheese have? Probably not much. The theory really was around, okay, are we bringing out the drums? Which we were. Is the event like themed like an OpTic venue? Are OpTic going to have the best practice facilities behind the stage? Stuff like that. That wasn't the case. From a pure, fundamental, competitive POV, it was unbiased, but then again, it's a Dallas event in Texas. Obviously, the crowd is always going to be overwhelmingly OpTic supported, but this time especially so, and that maybe gave the OpTic boys an extra boost. But I don't think it's a massive problem, personally, and Toronto hosting the Barcelona event and the World Championship sounds absolutely mega to me. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all of this stuff in the comment section below. Just yesterday we had a couple more of the all-time grid. HyDra wins highest potential, and Simp then wins potential future GOAT. So, and there's 4 more categories to go. Most aggressive, least aggressive, most consistent, least consistent. We'll see the answers around that tomorrow. But very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.
Actual famous last words. Went out like a true COD player. Truly. Like to the core. To the core, baby.
Carolina Ravens, boys.
You're fucking dog kid. How did get I'm not winning a map at Chance Finals?
They're letting each other down.
Kill yourself.
Bro.
You're fucking ass, He's so annoying in game on stage. I'm sure I was like that my entire career too. Nobody ever truly got under my skin, bro.